I'm always up for making a new friend.
Lovely. Roll insight checks on Brolden for me.
7.
Do I add anything?
Insight under level
13.
13, thank you.
So you're adding...
Oh, insight
4, so 11.
11. Cool, the two of you above 10 get this. There's a desperation to her. It's been 5 years of living in the cold where dwarves tend to live underground. It's the tribalist culture they've had to set up is very, very gruff, and she's very much fronting with you, had to at the beginning, but is now trying to make amends for that. She is guiding you up towards a cave and says, right, okay, dragons in there. I don't speak Draconic. I've only ever managed to communicate in very broken terms with it, but if you could possibly pop your head in and see if it could be of use, that would maybe help us with this.
Sounds lovely.
Okay.
I'll take my freshly baked brownies, packed with nuts for extra fibre.
Just want to go with her for safety.
Yeah, I would go in, but very much kind of
Could
behind.
It might be worth stealthing at this point.
Yes.
So I think maybe the stealthy ones should probably go up the front a little bit ahead.
Yes.
What was your name again? What was your name?
Aircos.
Aircast, let's go. Oh dear.
Rolling for stealth, that's 25.
What did you
9.
roll? 9.
With my +6 modifier.
Well, it is long established by Lord of the Rings canon that elves can walk on snow, so you are walking across the top of the snow, getting around the side of the cave mouth, being very, very stealthy. However, next to you...
God damn it, I'm just trying to...
That's why I have no faith left in people.
At that, inside the cave, you hear a very loud... and a gust of cold air just puffs out the mouth of the cave.
Maybe you should go in because you can talk to it.
I mean, yeah, Roger's literally behind you going... just pushing you forward.
Well, I'll see you all later, everyone.
We'll be behind you.
Fantastic.
Going to continue on and sort of just in front. Keep you in sight.
Don't you all want to make a friend as well? I've never
not
met a
just
dragon.
yet. Let's see how it all unfolds.
I'm following.
But you're
behind.
You're back. You're not trying to
back
speak.
up. I'm back up.
Okay.
I should clarify that
Yes.
whilst Dottie is a dragonborn, she doesn't really recognise that she's different. She just thinks she's like you know how dogs think that humans are just stupid dogs?
Yes.
Dottie's like that. She just thinks everyone is the same. So she's a bit like, well, okay. Doesn't understand why she's being sent in necessarily.
Lovely. You walk into the mouth of the cave, bold as brass, not understanding why this would be scary or terrifying. Good. The cave inside is almost entirely ice. Floor, ceiling, everything.
Bit nippy.
The ice in front of you expands out, almost like it's filling, like an underground lake that's been frozen over. And it also goes up to the side. Now, we roll an investigation check for me, please.
4.
4. It is very cold.
Remained ahead and snuck in.
Absolutely, roll an investigation check as well, that's fine.
Ha! Crit fail.
Crit fail. I think as you walk, there's on the ice, you okay. You're both trying to hold your balance on the ice. Ahead of you is a large form. You rolled very low on your investigation. I'm trying to work out how I'm going to describe this. It's white.
There is a shape somewhere.
There is a shape. It looks like it's sort of covered in frost and snow. It is moving ever so slightly, but you're not getting a huge amount apart from that. Almost like a snow mound that's moving. And you get a voice coming from it.
Who disturbs my slumber?
In Draconic, so you have no idea what was just said.
Hello. My name's Dottie. Nice to meet you.
Dottie. Hello, Who? I'm a big scary dragon. This is not normal. What do you want?
You see, there's been quite a situation in our community recently, and I think that, we've got to band together and help one another out. So I was just coming round to see if you would be interested in joining our little group. I'll provide the home-baked goods and possible needlepoint embroidery. Should you want to help some friends and just, have fun and be yourself?
Are you asking me to join the PTA or something? What on earth is this? I'm a terrifying dragon!
I mean, you seem quite lovely to me, to be honest. I'm always excited to make a new
That's all in
friend.
character, by the way. The dragon mound is coughing and moving, but roll another investigation check. You as well.
Am I got
It's a
in
loaded
also?
dice.
It's
okay.
hearing it.
It's a loaded dice. I want to change. It's a crit fail.
You're still
Yeah.
just going to keep your balance.
Thanks.
I got a 9.
Got a 9. If you had to guess, you'd say this dragon is surprisingly recumbent and unmoving. Despite moving around a lot, it seems to just not be doing anything. What would normally try and scare you or do something big and extravagant, it is not. It is not doing anything of that kind at all. And with your 1, you are struggling to stand on the ground. Though as you look down on the ground you're struggling to stand on, you realise that the lake beneath, the frozen lake, is full of gold, gems, other items, but it is frozen solid.
Quite the place you've got here. Quite like that decoration. Listen, love, are you feeling all right? You seem a bit peaky.
I'm fine. Oh, it's been a rough winter. Oh, I'm fine. Please don't come any closer.
Come on, speak to...
I'm gonna approach, slowly.
Come on now, you can tell Auntie Dottie anything. Just
No, go away. Go away.
come on now.
Do you get close enough to touch it?
Yeah.
As you get close enough to touch it, your hand just... It's just snow. It's just a mound of snow. Something isn't there.
Oh my.
Fine. A very small white dragon comes on top of the snow. It's about the size of a greyhound.
Oh my god.
Thing. Sorry.
It speaks in common, so you can both understand it. Hello.
Hello.
Another one comes out.
Oh my gosh, there's more than one of you. Let's be friends.
Can you please stop poking our mum's body?
Sorry, that was rather rude of me.
And as you pull your hand back, you see that inside this mound of snow
I'm a
and
very
ice,
tactile person, you
it's just
see.
bones, gigantic dragon bones.
Oh, crumbs.
So, hello.
Hello. How long's your mum not been well?
She's dead. She's been
Oh,
not well
right.
a very long time.
Sorry. I was trying to break you in gently. I thought that you were a bit off. Hello.
Look, we're young dragons, right? We understand. We look like young dragons, but to be very clear, we are hundreds of years old.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Would you care for some lavender shortbread, maybe some rosemary scones?
I mean, I'm not saying no. You start feeding them. I mean, they are quadrupedal, so they are walking and talking like small animals, but they are very much draconic in
I
their
have adopted
in their
them
setup.
and I love them.
Yeah, we do that so that people don't they get scared of the idea. And Mum used to live here, so you guys are now approaching in, and the look on Brodrin's face is a look of so bad. It's a very much look of like, oh, I did not know that. Oh.
I'm gonna wave at her and be like,
Hey, I made your friends. I found them.
I mean,
Look.
How long's the big one been dead? Mum's been dead like 20, 30 years.
Oh.
We've been coming to this cave for advice for like hundreds of years. Yeah. All right. You're supposed to give wise advice. Mm-hmm.
They could be wise.
We are very wise,
See?
says a greyhound-sized dragon. We are the wisest.
I'm just going to sneak off and see if I can loosen any of these shinies from the ice.
Oh, no.
Go for it.
Go and have a look.
Robes.
14 and
Do a sleight of hand on top of that.
sleight of hand
On the S.
is 5, so 19.
19. You're away in a corner, and instead of doing a sort of very obvious, excuse me guys, ting, 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 what you're getting is more of a sort of you can
Fabulous.
try and pull one out
Thanks.
later. We'll get there. Sorry about that. Do you need some advice?
It wasn't advice we were after.
We needed some muscle.
Oh, well, we're quite muscly. Yeah! These greyhounds.
How, like, okay.
I'm
For,
imagining.
for Naomi's metagaming knowledge, are they like the size of, like, are they like pseudo dragon size or a bit bigger than pseudo dragon?
Wormling sized.
Wormling size, great, thank
I'm
you.
imagining them as the Scrappy Doo to my Scooby Doo.
Very fair. Yeah, that is very, very fair. They are both scrappy do.
We need to, we're trying to take back Broldrin's home.
Oh, Snowguard. Aye, it's called Snowguard.
Oh.
Probably should have mentioned that earlier as part of the plot development. Yeah, I see you. I see you, other DM.
But
Well, we can help you take back Snowguard, of course. Just help us maintain this, because we can't protect the treasure, and we can't protect all of this if we don't have help. At which point, to get a gem out of the ground.
Oh, don't worry, we'll keep the secret safe. We'll just like say, oh, there was a big dragon. Yeah, super big.
I mean, that's not very convincing at all.
Don't worry, normally I'm very convincing.
Okay. Well, in which case we'd be happy to help, of course. If you need assistance with taking back a dwarven stronghold, that sounds like quite an operation.
yeah.
There's about 40 cultists in there.
Right. Is there a back door or something like that? Turning to Brodrin. No. The only way in is the front. And she leans down in the ice and takes out her axe and very delicately, because she's very good with it, starts sketching out the complex. Let me describe the complex to you. It is a death trap. Oh, that's my note, sorry. It is a 30-foot wide door, opens into a 100-foot length corridor, which makes a sharp turn to the left, then in 30 foot a sharp turn to the right. Why is no one taking notes? He is.
Right.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Oh, you are? No, okay.
Turn to the left, turn to the right.
Yep. And then right again up 30 foot into an antechamber. So if you imagine a straight line and then a sort of 3 sides of a square.
So turn to the left, turn to the right, and then there's an antechamber.
After the 100-foot corridor, I only got the 30-foot right. So what's the left?
Sorry, it is a 100-foot, sharp turn to the left, then a sharp turn to the right, then right again, and then you're in the antechamber. Yeah.
Oh, tried to draw a diagram. That was my first feeling.
If you imagine a straight line and then a corridor that cuts around into a large room, this entire corridor is lined. Sorry, Rawdon. This entire corridor is lined with arrow slits, murder holes at the top of it. It is designed to be impregnable.
Just
Once-
written traps in big letters.
Yeah. Once you are inside the antechamber, you can access the corridors either side of the main corridor, which is where the archers and everything would be. Beyond that's the chasm, and then you get into Snowguard.
So,
If there's one thing I do like, it's a long, narrow corridor.
It's a
Sure.
tough one for hiding. Even someone as sneaky as you might struggle.
I can climb.
Ah.
Just have to hide.
how tall is this corridor?
Oh, it's not too high. It's about 30, 40 feet up.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a big sort of block square. If you imagine.
Do the traps go all the way up?
There are not so much traps as in things you have to trigger, because dwarves aren't big on that sort of thing. It's more murder holes and arrow slits.
So it's
and
like you step on a thing and it goes.
no, more like there's a hole in the ceiling that if someone is there, they can pour acid or oil through or something like that.
Right. So flying through might not be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. We've had waves upon waves of dwarven barbarians running down it, and they've just been decimated.
If oil and acid can come in, Surely one can get out.
You could try and climb your way into a murder hole. That is a possibility, but they are grated.
Yeah. That makes it rather more sticky.
Yes, it does. I'm not gonna lie. We've been 5 years in the wilderness because we cannot take it back.
Oh, good.
I thought the dragon might be able to do it in one go, but it looks like that's not happening. Sorry. Maybe
Your fault.
Maybe they can help in some other way.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think it's probably sensible to make a plan of attack of how we approach this before we do in the next hour of the game.
What are your names, the dragons? Just.
Oh, well, I'm Gromtar, and this is Grelig.
There's an index on the dragon.
It's not in there.
There's not.
Gromthar and Grellig. Both have fluid gender because they're dragons. Right, so what do you guys think is the best way forward?
I think we try and sneak down the corridor, and failing that, we brute force our way down the corridor.
Brute force has killed many a dwarf.
Okay, then we just succeed at sneaking.
Okay. Well, you've got a very sneaky one here. That's a good start, and you can fly, so that presumably means you're quite fast.
I can go fast.
All right, it's an option.
And I can heal if necessary.
Oh, good.
All right. Look, it's better than no plan. I'm happy with that. All right. Thank you for coming to help. This is a big undertaking. Right, let me show you the way to Snowguard. And with the dragons in tow, you leave and head towards the Dwarven stronghold. As you're walking down the mountain, anything you'd like to discuss before you get there?
I would just be generally mothering the two little dragons.
They are loving it. They've not had much attention for years.
I'm gonna scribble notes down and expand on what I've done.
I think I'd fly around, kind of circle, see if I can see Snowguard up ahead.
As you fly up, what you can see is that the dwarves are moving in the same direction you guys are, the massive clan of dwarves, and they're setting up shop outside what looks like a cave mouth. It's very hard to see beyond that point. But because you're getting quite a high view as a bird, because you can fly quite high and see quite a long way, the cave mouth looks like just a cave. But as you go a bit further back, it looks like it's like the smallest entrance in the side of a mountain. Roll a perception check for me on this.
16.
The whole side of the mountain is not natural.
Okay.
It's been carved. It's hard to see with the snow covering it and with no maintenance on it, obviously. But this entire mountain face has nooks and crannies that, as you look, reflect. It's almost like it's been carved to look like a natural reflection of itself. Like a door.
Okay. Like a door.
Like a door. Like one of those big doors. But the small cave mouth's in the middle here. And as you guys approach and get down to the foot of the cave, some of the dwarves are now standing by the mouth of this cave and are waiting for you as you all approach. And as this happens, Brodrin's persona again switches back into the more gruff, angry, much more dwarven mentality.
Oh, how I missed her.
Right, so we got plans. Dragon's gonna come down and help everybody, and got her kids just in case she fucks up. And everyone's like, sort of running around with that. So these are gonna try and sneak in, solve the problem first time round, and maybe at some point we go in and bash some heads, and everyone's goes back across as well. And sort of looks at you all as a slight apologetic smiley, sort of shivers you forward.
I had a thought while I was flying around, and I asked her, do you have any of the ore that the cult have been mining?
Ore?
I'll take that as a no. we've been mining this ore that when it gets affected by magic, it becomes explosive.
Right.
Shines beautifully.
And well, if we had some of it, we might be able to. If there's cultists behind these murder holes, maybe we can lob some in, do some damage.
Aye, if you had some.
Well, there's some back in the town, but
Go get some. There's no rush.
yeah,
They're holed in there. They've been holed in there for years. They're not going anywhere.
I think we should try and collect some together.
Okay.
Well, you can fly, and you're fast. If we wait here for say a couple hours, you could fly back to town and bring back say enough as you could carry.
Yeah. And the small dragons, they can fly presumably as well.
Yeah.
So I'll take them, and if
What,
they can come.
what are we
and
doing?
We're just gonna go and get some explosive rocks.
That sounds
to bring
very dangerous. Please be
Explosive
careful.
rocks!
I mean,
Wicked.
They're
They won't
only
be
explosive if you cast magic.
They
Don't-
won't be explosive while we're carrying them, but
Oh. All right.
we
cool.
can make them explosive later, and you can have,
Yeah.
have great fun.
All right, we'll
You'll
do that.
enjoy it.
You and the dragons go and collect some. I'm going to say you get, in terms of chunks that could be used,
Yeah.
thrown, stuff like that, 10.
Okay. I'm gonna call them ore grenades.
You're going to call them ore grenades. Very well.
Yeah.
You call them ore grenades. That's fine by me. You're at the mouth of the cave. You are ready to enter. Who's going in first?
I volunteer as tribute. I think that means something somewhere.
Yeah. You are at the mouth of the cave. What would you like to do?
I suppose best foot forward. So I begin walking down the corridor.
Presume you want to see
watching my step. I'm sneaking, stealthing. Yeah,
all that dice.
that's an 18 with 7, 25.
25. Splendid. Cool.
Don't see stuff, but I can sneak.
You are very, very good at this, and as Jesus, as Aircos steps in, you all almost know he's there, but you almost lose sight of him as he leans against a shadow and seems to vanish into it. And slowly, you're stepping your way down what feels like a natural rock cavern. There's still wind outside, you can just about hear, and there's the occasional faint drip. As you make your way forward, the floor underneath you starts to become more worked, flattens out, and in front of you is a square corridor. There is no light in here. Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Elf.
Yeah.
Yes, good. So you can only see about 60 feet down here. So what
Yeah.
you can see is a dark corridor extending away from you, straight ahead into this rock. Roll a perception check for me.
4 and 6 is 10.
10. You listen carefully. You think you just about hear a voice. Can't hear what it's saying. And it's not you. You step forward, and as looking around, you can see that there are grates in the ceiling. It's about 30 feet up. There are various sort of slits in the side, but you are currently edging your way along as carefully as possible, trying to avoid any eyes or anything possible that could see you. Nothing happens.
I know that they're archer slots.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. Yes.
Can I see for a trigger, a tripwire, or some sort of light sensor? Something that might...
Sure. What Brogdon said earlier is that this wasn't so much traps as it is people behind them.
It's people behind me.
Yeah.
And I knew that.
That's cool. Don't worry. As you
Okay,
continue
cool.
to step forward, I'll let you keep the stealth roll. As you step forward, you realise that A, this corridor is uniform. It has been perfectly built to be a perfect 30 by 30 square, just bored straight into the rock. And as you keep going, there are more arrow slits, more holes above. There are also, as you look, faint steps that you have to traverse that do a sort of faint down step, then a faint up step. You get the sense it would break a marching rhythm. So it would make armies struggle to approach quickly. In game terms, it's difficult terrain. You make your way over these very carefully. You're now about 30 feet down the tunnel. And as you turn around and look back, you have a very eerie sensation because you're so deep in this tunnel now that you can barely see where you left it. So it's almost like you're looking back at exactly the same thing as you're looking forward to. Again, nothing happens. You keep moving forward.
Yeah.
As you move forward ahead of you, the corridor seems to stop. It's a blank face of stone.
Yeah.
In that blank face of stone, you see not so much arrow slits, but there are, if you had to guess, you'd say about 20 tiny holes in the wall. The most notable thing is that you can just about see a tiny bit of light coming through them. Because it is so dark in here, what you end up with is a slight sort of pinprick glow in the wall ahead of you. You can see to your left, the path does a very sharp L-turn and continues.
I continue to the left.
As you continue down the path, it's still 30 foot by 30 foot, just blocks along. It takes the right turns as you were told. And again, every step of the way you are seeing around you an awful lot of arrow slits and murder holes. Your foot catches a slight bit of loose rock and there's a very audible and you hear a voice go, "What?"
I hold my breath.
Did you hear something? I don't know. Looking up through the murder hole, you see a face peer over the edge and look down in your general direction. Can't see anything. Why, it's so dark down here. Dwarves, man, they can see in the dark. Oh, yeah. Should we light a torch? Have a proper look? Nah, it's probably a rat or something. Yeah, nothing. The faces go away. What do you do?
Continue on.
As you step around the final corner, you note that there is light against this wall. And as you step around the corner, you see ahead of you is a stone room with torchlight around the edge of it. In that room are a couple of tables around which are sat a bunch of cultists. You've seen these guys before. A couple of these grue things that you've seen before, as well as snarling and snapping at their feet. None of them even have the faintest idea that you're there. However, we're going to have to pause there because we've reached the end of the hour. Thank you ever so much, guys. Right. Do feel free to join us for the next hour to find out what happens next, because that was tense as all hell for me too. Good. The next hour we do here is our last hour of the day, and then we're doing an every 4 hours from 10:30 till 2:30 every other day of the Fringe, doing 100 hours by the end. If you can join us, please do join us again for the next hour or any other hour. Tickets are available from the Sweet Box office, which is out the front here, or Sweet Festivals, or Ed Fringe. You can find it there. If you can't join us in person, that's no problem at all. We live stream the entire show on twitch.tv. Hello, Twitch stream. So you can always watch there, or our lovely stage managers, Nay and Nemo, are making sure that they catalogue everything that happens on Twitter, so you can follow it almost like an ongoing text adventure. So that'll be happening too, if you fancy that as well. That is on Adventurers250 at Twitter. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, either Adventurers250 or Adventurers Wanted. We also have a Patreon page if you'd like to support us there with what we do. We run one-off D&D events, open gaming events, marathon events like these, so we are very much bringing gaming to the masses. That's what we try and do. Thank you to all of our players, most of which are doing other shows in Edinburgh, so it might be quite good for them to give shout-outs. So, Matt, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I'm in a new musical with Birds of Paradise Theatre and National Theatre Scotland called My Left Right Foot.
Sorry, I've heard of that show. I was considering going.
It's brilliant. Do it.
So,
My Left Right Foot, the musical.
Yeah. Where am I?
It's at the Assembly Roxy every evening at 6:10, with the exception of 3 evenings, a Wednesday and a couple of Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Check out birdsofparadise.co.uk or bop.co. Google Birds of Paradise Theatre, and all the details will be there. Also Assembly Roxy, also Assembly Festival. They're all chatting about it.
Excellent.
So all the details are available. So that an amateur dramatic society who want to get involved in the inclusivity bracket
Is
and
that
decide
Liam's show?
to stage. Whose?
Liam Rudden, is that his show?
No.
Interesting.
No.
What is Birds of Paradise? Doesn't matter, that's politics.
But yes, brilliant.
Yeah, so I do poetry, performance poetry. I'll be doing some guest slots here and there. The best way to kind of see what I do is to go to facebook.com/Catherine Wilson Poetry. I also live in Edinburgh 12 months of the year, not just one. So if you're interested for anything after the Fringe, you can probably catch me there sometime too.
Excellent.
I'm working on a show at the Traverse called Coriolanus Vanishes by Fire Exit Theatre Company. It's on at a different time every day, but not on Mondays. And it's good. Go and see it.
Excellent. No?
I'm actually going to plug a personal project because I remembered I'm doing it. I'm running a blog on Tumblr called dndplans.tumblr.com, and essentially I've started posting my homebrew and home campaign plans on there because I do DM. But I would like
very good DM.
I would like other people to submit their plans so we can all get feedback and make like a fun community place thing. So if you're interested, submit your plans to me and I promise not to steal them.
That is so not true. We all steal each other's ideas. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes.
It's called magpieing in education.
Yes, it is called magpieing. Excellent. Thank you ever so much, everybody. We have a very quick turnaround, so if I could ask you to vacate the premises, thank you very much. If you want to join us for the next hour, do pop to the box office, get a ticket for the next hour, and return. Thank you ever so much, and have a good day.